You're watching OKC Zoo Two, connecting you to the zoo during our closure. My name is Sammy Lightis. I'm a graduate student at the University of Oklahoma, and I work here at the Lizard Lab, taking care of the Texas horned lizards. Part of my graduate research is actually looking at Texas horned lizards in Oklahoma and trying to better understand where they are in the state and why the species seems to be declining. And so part of my work is here with this Head Start program at the Oklahoma City Zoo, where we are raising Texas horned lizards and ultimately reintroducing them back into the wild on Tinker Air Force Base in the very near future. Texas horned lizards are known by a number of different names, including horned lizards or horny toads. The preferred common name is the Texas horned lizard because they are in fact lizards and not frogs or toads, not related to amphibians at all actually. One of the things we hear all the time from locals is, oh, I used to see them all the time as a kid and I never see them anymore. And this is one of those species where they used to be fairly abundant or very common across much of the state, and at this point people are noticing that they are much more difficult to find. We are now trying to go back and figure out historically where Texas horned lizards were in Oklahoma, and we're doing population assessments as to where they are now across the state. Population declines have been noted all the way back to the 1960s, and a whole host of factors are associated with Texas horned lizard declines. The largest factor seems to be an umbrella term called urbanization. So we started collecting eggs. We excavated eggs from Tinker Air Force Base in the summer of 2019, and we currently have 17 Texas horned lizards here in the Lizard Lab that are about 6 months old. And we are planning to release them in the summer of 2021 now, when they are large enough for us to equip radio transmitters onto their back so that we can track them when they're out in the wild and continue to monitor their well-being and see how they're doing. So the first thing I'll do on a typical day is I go to the reservoir system, and we actually have a misting system that runs through this entire lab so that all of the lizards can be watered multiple times a day automatically. And then later on during the day, I will also feed the horned lizards, and to do that, we actually put them in small Stairlight tubs and we give them small crickets, fruit flies, or other similarly sized small insects that they will be able to eat for a couple of hours. In each tank every day, we just check temperatures to make sure that the lizard has a hot side where it can bask and it can heat up its body, and then a cooler side where it can escape the heat a little bit. So in the Lizard Lab, we feed our Texas horned lizards pinhead crickets, which are crickets that are about the size of a pinhead, and they'll also eat fruit flies and termites. These are actually very large for pinheads. So we'll eat small crickets like these, and each horned lizard can eat about 20 small crickets a day. So we can go through well over 1,000 crickets in a week in this room. So the shutdown has actually made it a little difficult to buy feeders right now. So when non-essential personnel aren't working, that can make it a bit difficult for us to actually find food for the lizards. So there's at least a week or two delay in shipping, which can make it a little bit difficult, especially if we need small crickets to come in regularly. But if people are interested in helping out, they can certainly donate online on the zoo's website, and they can also come to the zoo when we reopen, and they can round up for conservation with their purchases at the zoo.